What if I told you that most seniors are living with a silent ticking time bomb inside them and they do not even know it? What if I told you that by doing a few simple, scientifically backed things every day, you could not just defuse that bomb but add 20 powerful, joyful, adventure-filled years to your life? Sounds unbelievable, right? I thought so too, until I hit a wall so hard it shook everything I thought I knew about aging. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I am going to show you exactly how I rewrote my future, how you can protect yourself and the people you love, and why the small changes you make starting today will echo decades into your future. If you think aging is just about getting slower and weaker, you are about to have your mind blown. It all started 2 years ago. I had a wake-up call that was less like a polite knock on the door and more like a SWAT team kicking it down. One morning, out of nowhere, my legs gave out walking up the stairs. No warning, no pain, just a sudden, terrifying collapse. I sat there, stunned, humiliated, and frankly scared out of my mind. Was this it? Was this the beginning of the end? Every doctor I talked to gave me the same sugar-coated line. Well, you are getting older. But I refused to believe that life after 60 had to be a slow crawl toward the grave. So I went digging, deep into the real science of aging. Not the gimmicks, not the quick fixes. Real, proven, uncomfortable truth. What I found flipped everything upside down, and it gave me back my future. 1. Build muscle or lose everything. If you are not actively building muscle after the age of 30, you are losing it. Every single day, silently, relentlessly, your body is shrinking its strength, stealing your energy, and erasing your independence without even asking for permission. Scientists have a name for it: sarcopenia. It sounds fancy, but the translation is terrifying. It means your muscles are wasting away while you are busy doing absolutely nothing about it. And here is the nightmare fuel. By the time you are 70, you can lose up to 50% of your muscle mass if you do not fight back. Half your strength, half your power, half your ability to live freely. Gone. I learned this the hard way. There was a time when I thought I was active enough just by grocery shopping and occasionally wrestling with a stubborn jar lid. I believed that staying upright and breathing was a fitness plan. Spoiler alert, it is not. One humiliating afternoon, while trying to carry a case of water bottles into my kitchen, my back gave out like a folding chair at a barbecue. I dropped the case, dropped my pride, and dropped straight onto the floor. Right then I realized, getting older is not the problem. Getting weaker is. I dug into the real science, and what I found was both horrifying and electrifying. Muscle is not just about looking good each. It is critical for regulating blood sugar, maintaining bone density, preventing injuries, boosting metabolism, and even keeping your immune system functioning like a well-oiled machine. Every pound of muscle you build is like adding another layer of armor to your body against disease, frailty, and decay. And the best part? It is never too late. Studies show that even seniors in their 80s and 90s can build significant muscle with resistance training. The human body never loses its ability to grow stronger. It just waits for you to stop making excuses. I started small, laughably small. I could barely do a proper squat without looking like I was impersonating a baby giraffe learning to walk. But every single time I trained, even when it was hard, even when it was ugly, I was sending my body one clear message: I am not giving up on you, and you better not give up on me. If you think building muscle is optional, think again. It is your golden ticket to staying independent, vibrant, and fully alive for decades longer. And if you are wondering what the next key is to stacking even more years onto your life with shocking simplicity, trust me, you are going to want to stay tuned. Because what comes next is even more surprising and powerful than anything we have covered so far. 2. Move like your life depends on it, because it does. If you are not moving enough every single day, you are unknowingly stepping closer to an early grave. Study after study proves it. Sitting more than 6 hours a day can increase your risk of death by nearly 20%, even if you think you are active the rest of the time. Movement is not just good for you, it is mandatory for survival. Every hour you spend stuck in a chair without moving is quietly teaching your body how to decay faster. I used to believe I was getting enough movement because I hit the gym a couple of times a week. I would pat myself on the back for a sweaty Saturday workout and then sit like a lump on a log the rest of the week. I thought one big workout could erase days of sitting. I thought wrong. One brutal afternoon, after binge-watching an entire season of a show I do not even remember anymore, I stood up and almost toppled over like a tree cut at the base. My hips screamed, my knees cracked, and my blood felt like molasses. That day, I realized moving occasionally is not enough. You have to weave movement into the fabric of your daily life. The science is crystal clear. Regular, low-intensity movement throughout the day improves circulation, strengthens your heart, sharpens your brain, stabilizes your blood sugar, and lowers inflammation. It does not take hours at the gym. It takes consistency. I started small, embarrassingly small. I set an alarm to stand up and stretch every 45 minutes. I paced around my house while taking phone calls. I walked after every meal, even if it was just around the block. Over time, my body started craving it. Movement stopped feeling like punishment. It felt like permission to live fully again. If you think moving more is optional after 60, think again. Staying sedentary after midlife is like quietly handing your vitality over to the grave. You have to earn your energy every day. You have to remind your heart, your lungs, your muscles that you are still in the game. Every step you take is a step away from frailty and a step toward freedom. And if you are wondering just how powerful the next tool is, something so simple, so overlooked, yet so insanely life-changing you will kick yourself for not doing it sooner, then buckle up. Because what is coming next could make the difference between aging like fine wine or aging like forgotten leftovers. Stay with me. 3. Eat like you want to stay young. Every bite you take is either writing your life extension plan or signing your early exit papers. It is that serious. What you put on your fork 3 times a day has more power over your future than any pill, procedure, or doctor's appointment you will ever have. You can exercise like a beast and meditate like a monk, but if your daily diet is slowly poisoning you, you are quietly throwing away decades of your life without realizing it. I learned this lesson the hard way. For years, I ate whatever made me happy in the moment, cookies for breakfast, burgers for lunch, and maybe a token carrot stick when I felt guilty. I told myself, hey, I deserve this. Meanwhile, my energy crashed, my joints ached, my waistline expanded, and my blood work started reading like a horror story. It was not age that was stealing my vitality. It was my plate. One day, after yet another sluggish afternoon and an extra notch needed on my belt, I had to face a hard truth. My body was screaming for help, and I was feeding it gasoline instead of clean fuel. The science is brutally clear. Diets high in processed foods, added sugars, and inflammatory fats accelerate cellular aging. They shorten your telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA, and trigger chronic inflammation that slowly tears your body apart from the inside. On the flip side, diets rich in colorful fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and fiber-packed plants literally reverse markers of biological aging. Real food does not just feed you, it repairs you at the deepest levels of your cells. I did not go on some crazy juice cleanse or starve myself into misery. I made simple, powerful changes. I added more colors to my plate. I swapped processed junk for real ingredients. I treated every meal like a choice between building life or building disease. And within weeks, the results were undeniable. My energy returned like a wave. My skin brightened. My joints felt looser. My mind felt sharper. Food became my ally, not my enemy. If you think your eating habits do not matter anymore because the damage is already done, think again. Your body rebuilds itself every single day based on the raw materials you give it. Every bite is a blueprint for your future. Choose wisely, and your future self will thank you in ways you cannot even imagine yet. And speaking of your future, what I am about to reveal next is so simple and yet so overlooked that most people miss it completely. And it might just be the biggest game changer in your quest to live longer and stronger. Stay right here, because it only gets more surprising from here. 4. Manage stress, or watch it manage you. Stress is not just an uncomfortable feeling you can shake off like a bad mood. Chronic stress is a slow-motion biological disaster happening inside your body every single day you let it run wild. Uncontrolled stress pours cortisol into your bloodstream like gasoline onto a fire, and over time, it burns through your muscles, it scorches your arteries, it fries your brain, and it shortens your life in ways that are terrifyingly real. The truth is, stress is aging you faster than your birthday candles ever will. I used to wear my stress like a badge of honor. Busy meant important. Stressed meant successful, or so I thought. I lived like my calendar was a battlefield, and every task was a landmine. The results? Crashing energy, miserable sleep, skyrocketing blood pressure, and a mind so foggy I sometimes forgot why I walked into a room. I chalked it up to getting older, but deep down I knew something darker was happening. My body was waving red flags, and I was too busy to even notice. Then the science hit me like a bucket of ice water. Chronic stress shrinks your brain's memory centers. It weakens your heart muscles. It increases your risk of stroke, heart attack, diabetes, Alzheimer's, you name it. It is not just unpleasant, it is deadly. And worse, it is invisible. You cannot see it, but it is quietly dismantling your health behind the scenes, like termites in the walls of a beautiful house. So I made a radical decision. I declared war on my stress. Not by quitting my life and moving to a beach in Fiji, although tempting, but by building small daily habits that pulled me back from the edge. I started with 5 minutes of slow breathing first thing every morning. I ended each day with a gratitude list, even if some days it just said coffee and Wi-Fi. I built boundaries around toxic people and endless notifications. I gave myself permission to sit in silence without feeling guilty. And you know what? It worked. My sleep deepened. My blood pressure fell. My laughter came back. My mind sharpened like a blade. If you think you can outrun stress by toughing it out, think again. Stress will catch you. It will break you, unless you take control. Unless you build peace into your life with the same urgency you build a retirement plan. Peace is not a luxury. It is your survival strategy. And if you are thinking this is powerful, just wait until you see what comes next, because the next step is not just about surviving longer. It is about living wider, deeper, and louder. Stay right here. It only gets more thrilling from here on out. 5. Stay curious or start dying. When you stop learning, you do not just stop growing, you start dying, slowly, quietly, from the inside out. Brain scans prove it. The moment you stop challenging your mind, your neurons begin to shrink, your memory fades, your creativity rusts, and your emotional resilience crumbles. Staying mentally active is not a cute hobby for retirement. It is a survival strategy. It is the difference between living and merely existing. I used to think curiosity was something for kids and college students. I figured by the time you hit your 60s, you pretty much knew what you needed to know. Why learn something new when you can just watch reruns of shows you already love, right? Wrong. That mindset nearly put my brain on life support. I noticed I was forgetting little things, feeling bored, losing that spark that used to make every day feel like an adventure. And the scariest part? I almost accepted it as normal. Then I found the science, and it slapped me awake. Studies show that people who keep learning new skills, exposing themselves to new challenges, and feeding their brains fresh information not only maintain sharper cognitive function, but actually grow new neural connections well into their 80s and 90s. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, does not die unless you let it. Staying curious literally keeps your brain young. Curiosity is a vitamin your soul desperately needs every single day. I made a decision. No more mental autopilot. I signed up for a photography class, even though I barely knew which end of the camera to look through. I started learning a new language, badly, hilariously, but every awkward mispronunciation lit up parts of my brain that had been asleep for years. I picked up new books, watched documentaries, asked annoying questions at dinner parties. I turned my life into a classroom again, and it worked. My memory sharpened. My conversations became richer. I laughed more. I felt younger not because my body changed overnight, but because my spirit came back to life. If you think keeping your brain young is about doing crossword puzzles on Sunday mornings, think again. Real curiosity demands adventure. It demands mistakes. It demands getting uncomfortable. Every new experience you chase down like a wide-eyed beginner is another brick you lay on the bridge between today and a vibrant, thriving future. And trust me, the adventure does not end here. If you think what you have learned so far is powerful, wait until you see the final secret that ties it all together and shows you how to live not just longer, but infinitely more alive. Stay right here, because the best is still yet to come. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If this video sparked something inside you, do not keep it to yourself. Leave a comment below and tell me what action you are most excited to take. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and follow the channel so you never miss a single life-changing moment we share here. I promise you, the next video will bring even more powerful, shocking, and exciting discoveries that could completely transform your future. You are just getting started, and I am honored to be on this journey with you. Dive into the channel and explore more incredible videos waiting to inspire you. Trust me, the best surprises are still ahead. See you very soon.